Art allows us to speak when other platforms are not available. Art allows one to speak up and be heard, understood. On November 5 and 6, a conference dedicated to the reflection of the genocide of the Ottoman Armenians in art, theater, cinema, and literature was held in Istanbul. The conference was organized by Istanbul Sabanci University, the Istanbul Policy Center, and the Anadolu Kultur Organization. The two-day conference featured 22 presentations on the depiction of the genocide in the arts, ranging from denial in pre-genocide literature to the projects that have resulted in collecting and presenting memories that break the silence. Scholars and artists presented research, surveys, lectures, and spoke about their current projects. Carolyn Rapkievyan has been working at the Smithsonian Institution's National Museum of the American Indian for 25 years. Her presentation was entitled Memory, Art, and Metaphor in Museums of Contentious History. Rapkievyan believes that the creation of a museum in Turkey dedicated to the Armenians of Anatolia can play an important role in the process of establishing dialogue and peace.
I spoke today about the U.S. Holocaust Museum and Memorial and the debate about the exhibition narrative. And people were worried about telling a story in a way or displaying photographs that were so horrible. What if people don't come because the museum is so horrible? It is my dream to have a museum of Anatolian Armenians in Turkey. It may start as a very small thing first, but then maybe someday it would be big and even accepted as the national narrative. It should show all of our culture throughout all of history up until the present, but it should also be a history museum. And the gallery about the genocide, I think Armenians should have the privilege of saying what should be told, but we need Turkish people to tell us how is best to say this to people who may not believe or may not understand or may be skeptical or haven't heard it. So we need our Turkish colleagues very much to help us tell this story.
US-based filmmaker Eric Nazaryan, who was born in Armenia, spoke about the reflection of the Armenian genocide in cinematography, based on Hamo Beknazaryan's Zare, Oscar Apfel's Ravished Armenia, Elia Kazan's America, America, Henri Verneux's Mother, Adom Egoyan's Ararat, and two new films, Fatih Akin's The Cut and Robert Gedikyan's Don't Tell Me the Boy Was Mad. Nazaryan says the vastness of the topic often confuses filmmakers, and there is a need to find new forms of telling these stories. Eric Nazaryan himself is currently working on a film based on Chris Bojalyan's bestseller, The Sandcastle Girls, which is a story about the legacy of genocide.
Դեռ ծարավը եւ կարիքը կա այս թեմայով ցեղասպանության թեմայով ֆիլմերը լույս տեսնի մոտ ապագայում, որ այս հարցը չկործանվի աշխարհի մշակույթի եւ pop culture-ին մեջ։ Մեր ցեղասպանության մեծ դարդը ինչն է, որ դեռ մինչև 100 տարի անց այս հետևանքն ենք զգում եւ ամբողջությունով պատմությունը մեզ անպատվել է, մեզի դավաճանել են ամեն կողմից։ Այս պատմությունը մենք պատիվ ենք պահանջում մեր նախնիներին եւ չի ստացվում եւ այդ կատաղությունը կարծեմ մեր գեղարվեստական հոգին որոշ ձևի խախտել է։ Պետք է զտել դա եւ մաքուր մարդկային ֆիլմ նկարել, որ վերահոսում է այս 100 տարվա ազդեցությունը, դա իմ փափագն է փորձում եմ ավազի ամրոցի աղջիկներով անել։
Sibel Irzik, a professor of comparative literature at Sabanci University, believes that the historical and literary discourse can sometimes be more powerful than politics, but it also has limitations. Speaking about the paper that Sernaz Arslan presented about the Armenian presence in the works of Turkish writers Orhan Kemal and Kemal Tahir, as well as references to the genocide, she says,
They are able to do this only because they are particularly critical leftist oppositional authors, and in that sense already it's kind of a crack in the Turkish literary history. And the interesting presentation on Kurdish literature deals with Kurdish literature's attempts to remember the genocide, which is also a very difficult issue because Kurds were in certain ways and degrees complicit in the genocide. And the way in which they deal with this is both a kind of solidarity today. You know, Kurdish literature is both in solidarity with Armenians in building a memory of the genocide, but also it can be a form of appropriating that historical event to their current Kurdish political aims through a discourse of general, victimization. We were like victims, like you. Okay, so the whole issue is complicated.
The conference also included a live performance. No Voice is Lost, The Dead as Witness was a visual philosophical essay presented by artists Anna Barseghian, Stefan Christensen, and actress Meline Derminasyan. In 2005, Anna Barseghian, who is a researcher at the University of Geneva, carried out a project called Armenagraphie. She conducted this research together with Stefan Christensen, a research dedicated to the notion of the nation. For this project, Anna visited Turkey for the first time and went to her grandmother's Ghars village in Mush. Here, she heard the famous story of Gulizar, which is still sung by the Kurds, even though, apart from one gravestone, she found no other trace of Armenians in that area. The Kurds still sing about how Gulizar, the daughter of Miro, the mayor of Ghars, was kidnapped by the Kurdish Musa Bek and how she resisted. Yet the Armenian version of this song is gone. There's practically no one who knows it or sings it.
Գյուլիզարի այս պատմությունը քրդերի մոտ բավականին մեծ նշանակություն է ունեցել։ Դեռևս նոր կրկին ու կրկին դիմադրության դաշտ ստեղծելու հնարավորություն է տվել, որի մասին խոսում է օրինակ Գազին Կին Դենգբեշը իրենց աշուղն է, որը Վանում 25 դենգբեշ տղամարդ դենգբեշների մեջ միակ կին դենգբեշն է, եւ ինքը դենգբեշ է դարձել Գյուլիզարի պատմությունը իր տատից իմանալով, այսինքն դա հույսի դիմադրության տարածություն է, որը փոխանցվել է։ Մեր նախագիծը դրա մասին է, թե ինչպես է այդ պատմությունը փոխանցվել եւ ինչպես է ստեղծել այդ հնարավորի դիմադրող տարածք։
Anna Barseghian says that for artists, this is a very important moment, because over the years of trying to talk about what happened in different ways, there was no one to talk to. Yet this conference, in memory of Hrant Dink, as well as several other conferences that have been held in Istanbul in the recent past, all dedicated to the Armenian Genocide, indicate that now there is someone to talk to on the other side.
Հիմա այն իրավիճակն է, որ ասենք Հայաստանի եւ Թուրքիայի մեջ չնայած չկան դիպլոմատիկ հարաբերություններ, բայց իմ կարծիքով կա շատ հետաքրքիր իրավիճակ լինի քաղաքացիական հասարակության, արվեստագետների, փիլիսոփաների, մտավոր դաշտի բավականին ակտիվ իրավիճակ է եւ ես կարծում եմ դա շատ կարեւոր է, որ երկուսը միասին լինեն այդ խնդրի քննարկման, այդ խնդրի ուրեմն վերլուծման մեջ։